You saying Burna's holding it for
Go to the back.
Nigeria right now,
Yeah.
for Africa?
I think so.
No, with Kid and Burna Boy right here. 2 and 2.
Nah, I feel like Burna.
Okay, what do you guys think?
I think Burna Boy.
And why do you think?
How? Why?
Because of African Giant. It's the first album I've listened to where, from start to beginning, is a vibe.
So Superstar is not better than African Giant, you're saying?
I didn't really listen.
Well, you're
What was the
disrespectful.
debut? Yeah,
Is that the Paco Ramon one?
Superstar is
but
best Afrobeat album of the last 10 years, to me anyway.
Okay, I'll give that.
I don't know what song.
I don't agree.
You do know you know more than one song. You know Paco Ramon, you know Don't Know,
agree.
you
I don't
know
but in
Holla at Your
not
Boy,
just because of
you
how
know
good it is, just because
oh
of.
my God, girl.
How much it's carried.
1-1.
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, go on. Gorgeous.
What?
Between Wizkid and.
But no. Obviously for me, just Burna Boy. I've said that since like 2017, just because of what Afrobeat is meant to be.
2017, Burna Boy was on top.
I just thought Burna Boy was always gonna come out like.
2017, what was you releasing? That nonsense song with Lily Allen.
No, that
Oh,
was
Heaven.
no.
That terrible song.
No, that's
He
not
dropped
bad.
was it More Life? What's that album he dropped?
Oh, More Life
Yeah.
with the Deluxe. Yeah.
Yeah, you come out now.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
That was
no,
decent
no,
album.
it was 2018. 2018.
That's 2018.
But 2017.
17, you're right.
Yeah, but people started banging it.
Yeah, you're right.
And then 2017 he drops I think was it Redemption. He's had a couple of, and then Spaceship as well.
Spaceship.
And obviously he's like something the life of Burna.
Life is good. Life is good. Life is good.
So like
life is good.
in terms of like how he made hits and stuff, he was always there. But the reason I'm kind of
He fell off for like a couple of years.
yeah,
When
but
he got deported, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or he was banned from coming back.
That was-
that was
2013.
when like to party drops. He was in Nigeria because he was deported. Like
Why was he deported?
some
Something.
apparently I don't know.
I don't want to speak on my guy Burna. We'll talk about after innit?
It's been clear though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man back here.
Sorry, Burna.
But yeah, like the reason for me is like
Because what was the work?
in terms of actual Afrobeat stuff, like even though like people think he's imitating Fela and stuff, like he's really his songs are really like African based, innit? And like even with songs like Another Story, he's actually talking about like
I love that
Love
song.
that song,
man.
Harry's Power.
bruv, like so
I love
like,
that song. Even the that rapper on you is sick, man. I don't care. That manifest guy, yeah, whatever.
it's not every day. So,
Man, I you sick, man.
yeah, no, so
Yes, he performed that, and the guy came out as well. I was like,
I lost my mind.
it was too sick, man.
I don't-
Sorry, you went there.
no, but I don't even get FOMO anymore, man.
Oh, why?
Oh, FOMO.
Bro, because you're not there, man. I'm like, the only time I had FOMO was obviously Afro Nation, but that's because it was mad.
That was
Same. I
You
think
know
that had
how
Yeah,
FOMO.
it was good.
You were there?
That's the one. That's the place I had FOMO. Oh no, see me?
No.
You see everyone.
I thought you everyone.
Nah, every girl does.
I want to throw a name to this conversation though. Naira Marley. What do you think?
Wavies.
I think he's up there.
What's that
Going
song?
to prison was the best
Mariam,
thing.
so that song
Fam,
was banger.
he needed it.
Going back to
He
Nigeria
needed
and
it.
doing music there
Yeah.
was the best shit. I think he's up there.
Yeah.
I think he's up there making
That hard
like
fan.
Nigerian music.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you gonna
He
choose,
performed live
concert?
at my wedding, yeah.
I
Definitely.
love that guy.
What do you
man.
guys think about? So, what's your guys' opinions then on Burna and Wizkid, or
I
any of
think
them?
Burna first, man.
I think just because of his like
What-
consistency.
no.
I think with Wizkid, he's like, because of the name that he's got, he's now very comfortable.
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
Burna's like Nigerian, he carries his accent with everything, but Wizkid, David.
And that accent
No, Wizkid carries his accent. Yeah, you know.
I'm half American, half
I'm
black.
American. He's a liar.
My American fans.
I know his voice is like raspy.
He was just like, yeah, bro, like,
When me and Ghana.
hey man, David, I like you, man, but my guy.
needs to go.
No,
Stop
I'm
falling for this
half
award, these people, man.
American, half Nigerian. Yeah.
No, but he's got American citizenship.
Yeah,
no, he does.
But
Yeah,
I know what
but-
people are getting onto.
But it's like, okay, it's like I have what's it
you know
called
how-
British citizenship, but I don't say, oh, I'm half British.
Yeah, but there are people that do carry British citizenships and they say stuff like, oh, I'm British, but my parents are Nigerian. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
sort of like.
But
Yeah.
he was born in Nigeria though.
He's like really different school in
Yeah,
America.
I was.
He just went to school in America.
Or he was probably
That's
born in
it.
America and he's came.
But he's got a
And
passport.
so?
He's got a
As soon
American
as
passport.
he was born, he probably came back to Nigeria.
Yeah, he lived in Nigeria and then went to school in America, right? He said he
Right.
went to university in America. He didn't really do
He's
secondary
half
school.
American if he said he's half
Okay,
American.
so on that note,
Like
then,
they
so
lie.
what do you lot? Because obviously, like the society that we're living right now, yeah, like everyone just like says it how it is, yeah, in terms of like their freedom of speech, innit? So like, do you feel like society's like running right with it, like I'm this, I'm that, and it's cool with it if you identify? Not, I'm talking about like identifying your sex, just in general, like, and you know how people also call people out on like Twitter and stuff like that.
It's about like cancel culture.
I don't
basically.
think-
Not just not
You
cancel
said
culture, but like
outside.
freedom of like speech. Like, do you feel like sometimes like people do say too much, they need to tone it down? Or so like for example, like if you look at was it politics or not or something like that, you know how they talk too much, and they say, I'm trying to think of a good example.
What, Katie Hopkins, for example?
Huh?
Katie Hopkins.
Piers Morgan.
Yeah, people like that. Like, don't you feel like they, like people in general, and especially those people, yeah, that there's no like filter on what they say.
Exercising their right to speech. To
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You can say what you want to say. I mean,
Because sorry, people always get on to me, yeah, when I just took my mind, and people say, oh, Ola, you have no filter. Oh, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that, blah 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 blah.
I feel like that's the whole point of freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say, and then someone can tell you that you're chatting shit.
Mhm.
That's the whole point. So I don't think you should limit that. I just think that we should just be able to, people should be able to. I think the problem is that people don't listen to other people. They just say what they want to say, and this is what my view is, and I don't care. So they don't listen to what someone says back or like criticisms or anything like that. I think that's the main issue. It's not like, oh, you're saying too much. It's that you're not willing to listen when someone has something to say back.
Fair enough.
I
Okay,
think.
so building on that, yeah, who needs to change more, the person that has no filter, or the person that's taken, or the person that's said too seriously?
I think the person that says it needs to have an accountability for the things that you say. So I think freedom of speech is freedom of speech, but you can't make a statement and not consider how someone else feels. I guess it depends in context, but I think when people go around saying that, oh, I'm just free spoken, I just say it how it is, I think 9 times out of 10 you're rude.
Really?
9 times out of 10. To be fair, if you said something to me and you want me to receive it, if you were smart, you'd bend it to a way that I'd hear it. You wouldn't just say it as it is because you would know how I'm going to receive it. So I think sometimes people that say freedom of speech and I say things how they are, they don't really want to be heard, they just want to talk.
So what about, okay, just an example that happened a few minutes ago, when I was like, happiness. You could just be like, what the fuck, let's get my name wrong like 4 times, like, and then am I to blame for you, even though it was a genuine mistake?
That's not freedom of speech though.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of like people just saying what's on their mind, and then someone else just so another girl could take that the wrong way. Or like, I've told you my name
Like we
already.
met today, like it's a bit.
I know, fine. Have you met girls?
Obviously that's a bit different from freedom of speech, but your responsibility as the person who got a name wrong is obviously, to you it's not a big deal, but you need to kind of understand how that would be a big deal to her, not you, but someone else that took it the wrong way, and that's where it comes. You see, you do your face like that, but
I don't think so.
of course you do.
No, but-
You should always consider people's perspective.
Like you don't always have to
Give your
agree.
point. Yeah, you don't have to agree,
Yeah.
but you should always consider how the other person might receive it. Like you said, when you're saying something, you kind of
Yeah, you have to have nuance how you say something.
So like you've got a brother, right? So you're trying to tell your brother something, you're trying to portray a message. You have one of 2 ways to do it. You can either say it how you feel, or if you say it in a way that he hears it and he'll change his actions. But if you're just going out there charging everything that you say, no one's really gonna hear or understand you, and they're just gonna take you as someone that, oh, the guy just chats anyway.
So there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, just how you word it.
But I think there's also 2 ways though. I think some people just take things and become like too like offended.
Of course.
Like some people are just like, oh well, you said this or whatever. They don't try to understand why someone might have said that in that way, or why they might think in that way. Everything is like, oh, I think that's why I asked you, are you talking about cancel culture in the beginning? Because it's like, I feel like that's why everyone has cancel culture now. No one's trying to understand why someone said something. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, you said that, okay, cool, let's just cancel you, move on or whatever. And cancel culture is even real anyway, because you forget in like 2 days.
Of course, man.
It depends on who it is, who says it.
Yeah.
Two people can say the same thing.
Oh,
One
yeah.
that's more popular.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's-
true.
that's
But
like-
likability always wins though.
Of course.
I'm always saying that, likability always wins. So.
But yeah, in terms of it like I feel like you can say what you want to say and people can take it the wrong way or the right way, but it's all about, like you said, ensuring that there's that space for that proper discourse, because people speak and people might speak just to speak, but as a listener,
It's kind of a responsibility to listen to reflect, not always to listen to just react. Because feel like I feel like people are too like flammable, like or they might. I hate when people do this. I'm speaking to you, I'm saying something, and like you're focusing on like one key bit that might not be true, and then you use that to negate the whole conversation. It's like
like a reference to women.
that's a reference to anyone. Like some people just.
Why is it
That's
always
more of a
women?
reference to men.
Yeah, because why are you mentioning women all the time?
Let Charles land.
No, but I'm catching you in a jab.
Charles just called it. You're not listening to his point. You're trying to pick one
You know what? Yeah. That's not a reference to either sex. Like some people just don't know how to listen, and it's like with guys it might represent itself in a way where like somebody's the loudest one in the room, and with women it's a thing where they might just slap some emotion on something to make it your point not true. That's a generalization, a blanket statement, whatever, but it does happen though. Like you can look at
Why is it that people just think that women are just, we just slap emotions on everything? Like, aren't men emotional?
I didn't say I was giving this for example.
No, I'm just saying, but I think, but I think, but that's what I'm saying. I think fundamentally this generation men, like, I think that's the problem. Like, people, I feel like if women really spoke out on how men really act, I think that would really show. Like, men are very emotional. Like, y'all crazy.
Okay, wait, question. Like, this is the open question for everyone right now, yeah? If something happens to you and it upsets you in a certain way, but you've had so many experiences of life being upset by that certain thing, and you know what's happened when you kind of had a knee-jerk reaction, would you not then take a bit more time to... that's a yes or no. Would you... Like, who takes more time to process their reaction before they, confront a person or confront a situation?
You said is it men or women?
No, I'm just asking, like girls, because like from what I've seen, sometimes, even sometimes when, women, sometimes I'm gonna be real, like sometimes they have a problem, they might in their head think they're processing it. They might take like a couple of days to process, but it's not really a proper input. It's just process goes to an emotional feedback loop. It's all emotion. So they process everything that they feel, and then that's the output. But sometimes, not all the time. So I would say for me, for example, if something offends me or gets me mad, like even if it's not just with girls, with anyone, like I look at the other person's point of view, taking into consideration what they're thinking, and then I just try and rationalize everything, because I feel like with most things you can rationalize it. Wait, and that's how I come onto that level of conversation. That's just me.
That's not you. That's what I'm saying. Guys always do this thing. That's not him. Okay, that's him. But guys just do this thing where it's like, you can rationalize everything. Let's rationalize it all.
It's not everything you can
let's be
rationalize.
logical. Everything is logical. No. Not everything is logical. You can't make everything logical realistically.
Wait, Grace, you're more rational than Lola.
What's
That's not true.
What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm rational?
You know that song I can at least listen to a guy
You
first.
didn't finish my point.
Sorry.
So you're the irrational one.
I'm very understanding.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I want to hear what you think.
Please.
Yes.
No, I think women can be very, very rational actually. I think that's even the problem. We're too rational until we get to a breaking point, and then that's when we go a bit crazy, because we try and make sure, this is what we see. That's why women have this whole thing about potential. That's us rationalizing, okay, he's not doing things right now, but I see that he could do this better. I can see that he could do this or whatever. And that's why we end up putting ourselves in predicaments or whatever. We actually rationalize firstly, and then we get to a breaking point. Is when we get to the breaking point, you guys now want to start doing rationalizing police and be like, oh, well, you shouldn't really be reacting like this. Let's just have a chat. Let's just have a chat. When I wanted to have a chat before,
I feel like there's some truth in what you say, but go on, Ollie, before.
Right, I don't know. I just want to jump in what something Lola was saying about you can't really just label women emotional as such. Because
I didn't.
No, I didn't say you. I said in general. I'm just attaching myself.
Have you got a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do have a
It makes
girlfriend.
sense.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because the Harvard
Totally
Business
makes
Review, they
sense.
released a list of words. They released a list of words of how women and men are portrayed in their work reviews, given the same action. And if you look at it historically, women are portrayed as like bitchy, emotional, irrational, all these different words. But the same action for a man would be a different word like assertive, or commanding, leadership, all those things. So I think you have to just be a bit more mindful about how we label behaviour for men and women, otherwise we are going to just be part of this problem where we keep conditioning our next generation to...
Wow, I feel like we should give a clap for that. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
You need to come more often.
That's just what I was thinking, but like,
that makes
I mean, in
sense.
terms of self-expression, I don't really say much until someone asks me, or if I really, really care about it. Like, I get really motivated if they ruin a season of my anime, but apart from that, I just like to watch people...
So you don't think at one point women...
Wait.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to make this too gender specific because the question you asked was about freedom of speech.
Yeah. Okay, go on, Grace. Were you going to answer? No? Okay.
Yeah, nothing else to say?
Back the men.
No. My main thing was just to talk about just listening.
Yeah, I think everyone can do
Yeah,
that.
that was a good point.
But not many people do it.
Yeah, we don't.
It's hard to because I feel like
Some people want to get their point across.
ego plays a big part. Because like sometimes, have you ever had those moments where like someone's speaking to you and you're trying to listen, well I'll say it for me, and it's like my chest is just getting so tight. I'm trying to
like chat shit.
Talking about pissing you off, yeah. Like I was some gathering for someone's birthday, so like we all ran around here talking about pet peeves, and then like it's a girl. She said something in it, and then I was like, I just knew from that point that people who are celibate, it's done. Because wait, let me just land. Because wait, let me land. Because no, they're not done. Like obviously, do your thing if you want to be celibate. I support that. If you know what I mean. But I was thinking like, if you're gonna go on that journey, from what you were saying, it just made me think then I feel like you shouldn't be in a relationship.
What?
I don't think you should.
Wait, how do we get
unless you're on a journey with someone that's already on that journey, or it's definitely gonna be like, I'm gonna stick with you to go on that journey.
Well, then that's being in a relationship.
Yeah, that's what I said. Unless, but I feel like
if you're in a
you just find
or
someone.
if someone wasn't sure, but it can't, because a lot of people will be like, okay, I'm celibate. They'll talk to a guy. He's like, I can be. You know what I mean? They're not definite. They're really being celibate because of you.
But that should never happen.
But then
it's a choice,
that's a choice to make, and also for her, she has to be aware that okay, is he fully into doing this with me or
yeah,
not?
but also a lot of
she has
girls.
to also be honest with herself. Is she really in this?
Yeah, a lot of girls say that
That's
they
another
are
question.
for the. Everyone knows when girls says this more time when they say they're celibate or whatever. It's more about now. A month or two later, some sticky situations, panic is dropping.
Unless you really are.
And then you start entering that cycle of February we're celibate. March. Oh, we're now having sex and stuff like that.
Okay, but then wait.
May. You know what? I want to be celibate again. I'm like that whole Ferris wheel going round and round and round and round.
But that's
like,
different. But that's different because that's also on her part. She's doing it to herself because it's like, okay, cool. You said you want to be celibate. Okay, if you're not going to be celibate, just say that you're celibate for now and then leave it as that.
You can't. It's why.
Some people say, I'm celibate for now until I meet someone.
Do you know, I think it works. I kind of understand what you're saying, but I disagree. Only because I think if one person has chosen to take this journey and they're saying that now they're choosing to be celibate, if they've made that clear to the other person that they're seeing, it is not my responsibility to convince you, it's whether you want to do it
Yeah, of course,
or not.
yeah, I agree.
So from now, if we're in a relationship and you figure out, so it depends on why you're doing this. If you're doing it for faith reasons, and let's say 6 months down the line, one person decides, actually, Joy, I don't want this. You're well within your rights to pick that, just not with me. And this is where both people have to be accountable for that. I cannot get upset because you don't want to do this anymore. It's not our journey, it's mine. And you can now not force what you want onto me.
Of course.
So this is where I think it's a bit confusing, where you feel like they shouldn't be in a relationship. Of course we can be in a relationship, but I can't just hold. However, you need to be honest. We both need to be honest with each other.
Yeah.
I feel like where I'm getting you lot confused is that I'm talking more about those people where they say, okay, we're now in a relationship, yeah. I'm celibate, yeah. January, March, cool. You've fallen off. That's okay. People make mistakes, yeah. You pick up things again. March, you're only celibate again. Falling off again. We're back on, off, back on, back on.
That's
how many ins and outs can I allow before I'm like, yo, I'm putting my foot down.
Yeah, you put your foot down.
That what though?
You put your foot down.
You can't keep saying.
That's not a statement.
But a lot of
You feel like you're being paid about.
yeah, like make up
But then
your
you have
mind
to have a
and stick to
conversation
the
with her,
point.
and then you also
Or
have
do you
to
not
be
like
honest.
the fact that it's on her terms? So
That too, that plays a part of it. It's one, it's on your terms. No, it's true, it's annoying. It's on your terms. And 2, you're wishy-washy with it. No offense to people who fall, because
No,
obviously
that's
it's hard.
This is what I was
But-
going to say. So people do it for different reasons. If it's a faith reason, like I guess it works different. So someone's doing it for a faith reason, and yes, they fell, and yes, they've got back up again. However, I think it's on that person that's chosen. Different people, like you could be a male and choose to be celibate, you could be female
Yeah,
and
of course,
choose
yeah,
it.
doesn't
So
it?
whoever's chosen to be celibate, I think you need to make sure that you're disciplined, that you can't do it and then be doing
Can't-
in
you can't
and out,
keep
in and
tripping,
out.
So my
in
question is,
and out.
how many, when they got in and out, how many do you allow? Until you're like, bro, you're
I
taking
don't think
the piss.
there's a rule book.
I don't think. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is why I said that they shouldn't be in a
Yeah, but you should know what you want.
You
The first
shouldn't
time
do
that
it.
the first time that we fall, we should have a conversation. Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
be
we've
like-
done this. We
yeah,
said we're
yeah.
not doing it anymore. What is going on?
Yeah.
I'm holding you. Sorry, I'm asking you to hold me accountable,
Yeah.
and you're asking me to hold you accountable. Come on, you don't just suddenly fumble and it's happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool,
both
this is
parties.
hold yourselves
Exactly.
accountable. Okay, cool. We're feeling kind of booky. Let's go for a walk. Let's change the scenario. Let's change the scene or whatever's going on. So if at one point I'm weak, that's the time you need to pick up yourself and be strong.
Exactly.
But if at one point you're
But
weak
men
and
are
we're
weak.
Men are weak, but you fell. You're already on the floor.
Men are weak, women
You're
are weak. But one person needs to be able to say, do you know what, yeah, okay,
When I'm
it
weak,
depends,
you're
again,
strong.
it depends on why you're doing it.
Charles, I know you're probably have something to say.
No. Yeah, no. With that, I'd say yeah, it's definitely true. Like obviously, on a black and white perspective, yeah, it's not cool to have that because it is annoying. But also, if you decide you want to stick with someone, even though yeah, it is like they started the journey, especially if you're a guy as well, like you're taking that role as a leader, you know, and that's. You know, if your other half is falling, you have to be kind of to pick them up. To be fair, like it does make sense because you know there will be other times as well. You know, in a relationship, that's how it works, man. You know, she picks you up when you're down, you pick up when she's down as well. You wouldn't be like, oh, what the fuck, man? You said you were gonna, not give up the goods. I put my hand in the cookie jar. What are you telling me now? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like that's.
Huh?
That's so crazy.
no.
So, like, if you were, let's say, in that, you're the one that doesn't really want to be celibate, and then your girl.
I would say just don't be with someone that is doing that because.
So doesn't that go back to what I was saying? That
No, but no, it doesn't go back to what you're saying. You're saying that they can't not be in a relationship. They can. They just need to find someone that is also willing to be on this journey with them, where they're able to hold each other accountable. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and then she's trying to be doing it because then it's going to be harder for her to do it as well when she knows you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out as well. When it's already hard on your own. It's already hard for you to do
You
it
sound
on
like
your
you're
own.
just blaming the guy again.
No, it's not blaming the guy, but
blaming the
it's
guy.
also on her as well. She needs to not be
Okay,
with someone.
okay,
This is
not
why
the
I
guy,
said
okay, the
both
person
parties
on-
need to be accountable for each other.
She needs to choose not to be with someone that's in and out, who she knows that's going to be in and out of it, and is not solely doing it for themselves as well. That's the thing. This is a journey that you choose for yourself, so you can't be doing it for someone else because then you're just going to end up, you know.
And I think to begin with,
Tripping.
you made a statement, so you said that what if the guy says that I can? I think this is where we need to be very clear when we have like these sort of conversations. It needs to be that you're not doing it for the sake of because I want to do it. You need to do it because you're able to do it. So even when I guess like they often say that you don't really know how hard money is until you work for it. So you don't really know how hard something is until you actually put the work in to do it. So you know while you're doing certain things. So what really motivates you to do it? If it's just because this girl is doing it, when she feels me awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, he listened to what he said. Jules, Grace just dropped.
I don't know. I feel like the point you didn't really answer. I don't want to go back into it. It's just how when you've dropped on and on and off, bro, we can just keep doing it for the next year, next 2 years.
That means that you're not accountable, and that means that you don't have a backbone yourself. Because if hold up, if I'm in a relationship with someone,
the person who's celibate, the person who's not.
The person that's not. Because if I'm in a relationship with someone and I've said that I don't tolerate something or I don't want to do something, if you keep doing that, like you say, oh sorry, I don't have a backbone. I don't know what I want. I don't know where I am, kind of thing. But if you do know where you are, what you want, you wouldn't stick up for, actually, we're doing celibate today, so I'm not doing celibate.
Put the foot down.
The first time it happens, we have a conversation. If it happens again and you say it's a personal problem.
It's your fault that if it keeps continuing, like, or you keep allowing the trip to keep happening.
Yeah, the person who's celibate's fault, right?
It's both. It's also both.
Everybody
it's actually
is
both.
responsible for this.
Oh, okay, cool. I feel like there's more blame on the person who's celibate.
There isn't.
We're both celibate,
more
though.
blame?
We've had this conversation. We're both celibate.
Why is there more blame?
Yeah. I get you. I get where you're coming from.
There's no more blame because you've decided to be with someone that's celibate.
Don't put the blame on. Okay. Econ. Oh yeah. Did you see his brothers?
Beacon,
Seacon.
Deacon
I don't want
is
to
in
look
church.
alike.
I thought it was called
No. They actually got.
The name's Akon and Beacon.
No, not the name, but that was the brothers.
So are you joking?
This guy is
There's someone tweet. I was
like, it's probably
Akon,
Beacon,
Beacon,
Seacon.
and someone said, oh, where's Deacon? He's in church.
Yeah.
Yeah.